So, Nancy, Republican Senate Intel Committee member Roy Blunt is calling for an exhaustive investigation into the ties between Russia and the Trump administration. Does this mean this goes farther than just Flynn?
It does, Elaine. It means that he and some other Republicans think that it's worth getting to the bottom of not just Flynn's relationships with Russia, but the president's relationships with Russia, other people on his team. And Blunt didn't necessarily suggest that he thinks that there's anything to those relationships. In fact, he said if we do an exhaustive investigation and find that there's nothing there, then that will free up the White House to go about its business without this cloud hanging over it. So you've got an interesting dichotomy here where you've got a lot of Republicans who think that nothing will come of a probe like that, and a lot of Democrats who are convinced that these ties go much deeper, that they are financial, that there was communication, collaboration going back and forth between the Trump campaign and the Russians, and they think that that communication continued once President Trump took office.
You said in your piece, Nancy, that Senate Republicans are more interested in investigating Flynn than House Republicans, and I wonder what might be the reason for that.
There are a couple of reasons. First of all, you've got a lot more Trump fans among House Republicans than among Senate Republicans. There was only one Senate Republican who endorsed President Trump during the election, and that was Jeff Sessions, who is no longer in the Senate. He's now the Attorney General, whereas there were a number of members of the Freedom Caucus in particular in the House, these Tea Party Republicans, who were on the Trump train for a long time before it rolled into the station. And so the Republican leadership in the House needs to be a little bit more careful in going after Donald Trump because a number of their members are staunchly in his corner. Beyond that, Senate Republicans, they represent an entire state, not just one district, and in some cases one very red district. They represent Democrats and Republicans, so they are looking to satisfy not just the Republicans in their state, but the Democrats as well. And in this case, you've got a number of Senate Republicans now, including the chair of the Armed Services Committee, the chair of the Foreign Relations Committee, and the chair of the Intelligence Committee, all saying that they need to probe deeper on this.
Yeah, and Capitol Hill isn't only reacting to Flynn. On Tuesday, House Oversight Chair Jason Chaffetz sent a letter to White House Chief of Staff Reince Priebus about Mar-a-Lago security. What can you tell us about that?
Well, that was very interesting because Chaffetz was under some heat because he had said he wasn't going to look into the Flynn situation. But then he sent this letter to Priebus in the afternoon asking for more information about those conversations that the president appeared to have al fresco at Mar-a-Lago, out in the open with Japanese officials over the weekend regarding the North Korean missile launch. And Chaffetz said that he understands that the White House is saying that that no sensitive information was revealed in those conversations. It didn't require going into a secure room to discuss the information, but he said he wants to know more about what was discussed, about who was involved in the discussions, because he said he's concerned that perhaps sensitive information was shared in a very broad setting. After all, Chaffetz is the one who, when everyone believed that Hillary Clinton was going to be president, was vowing to investigate her for years to come over her use of a private server that he felt wasn't sufficiently secure. And now he's making the same case when it comes to Donald Trump.
All right. Nancy Cordes for us. Nancy, thank you.